Hi everyone, my name is Alex Garbarino, and I'm going to explain to you how logostatin works in the body and lowering cholesterol. I'm sorry. Okay, so it's the next slide, maybe. Okay. Alright, so a little bit of background information. When it comes to cholesterol, there's two main types that we know of, and that's LDL, which is the low density lipoproteins, or as we know it as the bad cholesterol. And the reason we know it as the bad cholesterol is because it usually isn't able to move throughout our body as well, because as you can see, it has a lower density, so it builds up more in our arteries, and I misspelled arteries. But the next one is the high density lipoproteins, and this one is better for our bodies because it takes the cholesterol that could be building up in our arteries and it actually moves it back into our liver, which then synthesizes it down so that it can, be properly distributed and taken out of our body. And then just some key points about cholesterol. It's like a fat-like substance that is found within all of our cells, and as I said before, it's synthesized in our liver. And it's usually found in food products that are meat and in dairy, and so that's why it's really important for us to monitor our diet whenever we're having an issue with our cholesterol. Let's see, so how it's created. I'm sure this looks familiar to everyone since we just did it in our lab, but these are the main steps of how cholesterol works is created in the body, the different structures, and the process of how it reaches the 3-hydroxy-3-methylglutarate coenzyme A, which is going to be pretty important when we move later on to this presentation as to how it relates to logostatin. So why is LDL so important? The reason I said before is that it causes buildup in our arteries, and you usually go and get lab work done if you're having any symptoms as to having higher cholesterol. So when you go in, it's optimal for us to have a lower number than 100 milligrams per deciliter, and then sometimes it can occasionally reach above 100, but if you're more than 200 milligrams per deciliter as far as your LDL, then there's a good chance that you have way too much LDL in your blood and you don't have enough of the HDL, which is what helps to move the cholesterol through your body. And this is usually when you need to make a change in your life in order to help with the amount of cholesterol that's in your body. So what are some of the treatments? The first three are usually your first line of treatment to help, and that's dieting. You don't want to have red meats usually and dairy because that can increase the level of LDL that's in your body, and staying away from having trans fat and a lot of processed foods. And then the next two, of course, you want to exercise. You want to make sure that you're moving the cholesterol and moving your blood, and obviously that's healthy overall, and we all know this. And you want to make sure you're watching your weight, because usually they go hand in hand, kind of like as if you were diabetic. It usually goes hand in hand. If you're overweight, there's a high chance that your body can't regulate the blood sugar levels, and then it's the same thing with cholesterol. So these are usually the first line of things you want to do in order to treat high cholesterol levels. And then the last option is, if the other ones aren't working, then you'll usually have to use a drug intervention, and that's when the statins come in. So the one that we know of, or that we were asked to talk about, was logostatin. And so once again, we're using the figure from our lab and the steps on how to properly create cholesterol. And the way that logostatin works is that it inhibits that certain enzyme, which, as you can see, is right there, the HMG MG coenzyme reductase is inhibited whenever logostatin enters the body because it's activated in vivo when it uses hydrolysis, and it mimics the lactone ring to form the B-hydroxy acid. Once again, apparently I can't spell. Sorry for that. But that's how it works. It mimics that same structure as the AMG coenzyme reductase, and so when it takes form and it acts like it's that enzyme, it then moves throughout the system and it increases the uptake of LDL in your body. So according to one of the studies I read, that it can help increase HDL a little bit as well, which kind of makes sense. It's working on your body to help get rid of the LDL, and then slightly increases the HDL, which is what moves the cholesterol throughout your body or back into your liver. That's the best way that I can explain it. I feel like it was short, sweet, simple, to the point. And here's the resource that I had when I found this information, and that's all I got. Thank you.